Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Sip and Chat with your crew. Mary's not here tonight again. She's taking care of business in other places. So we'll see her next week, I believe. But you got me and Daryl tonight. And that's always a good pair.
It definitely is.
So Daryl, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It was a good week. Once again, it went by pretty quickly. We are already back here on the show again. So, uh, no real, like, just, I know a lot of people are upset about Nia Long getting
I've been hearing about it all day. Goodness
right,
gracious. Everywhere
right,
you turn, everywhere you click, they're talking about it.
right. And it's, I just want to say, look, women, you're never too cute to get cheated on. I'm just
Why would you take that angle?
saying. Because
Why would you take that angle?
because the narrative is he cheated on Nia Long. I
Mhm,
can't believe it. First of all,
mhm.
this is not Friday Nia Long. This is not Love Jones Nia Long.
You know what?
This is today's Nia Long,
You need to stop. She's still a beautiful woman.
and he's a handsome man in
Mm,
very good shape. So I mean,
mhm.
at that, with that being said, um, you're never too cute to be cheated on. Learn that, women.
But we do know that cheating has nothing to do with your partner's looks.
Not at all. So you're
No.
never too cute to be cheated on. Don't don't
Because
think don't
if cheating has something to do with looks, the people that people cheat with would look better than what they have, and oftentimes that's not true.
well, the cheating is that's right. Yeah, cheating is about the opportunity, right? It's just
Hmm.
it's kind of like proximity. If I can get away with this, I'm going to do it. But it just goes back to when people think they go get these. And I'm speaking from a man or woman. I don't know why women cheat, so I can't speak to it. But women go get augmentations, get the butts done, and all these things, and they think that's going to keep a man. It may attract them, but your butt is not big enough, too big to get cheated on. I'm just letting you know. Care how big your butt is. It's a flat butt getting cheated on right now. He's cheating with something totally opposite than what you have. So don't think anything aesthetic is going to keep someone.
Well, that's true. That is
Right.
true.
And that's why when people, oh my God, he's cheating on Neil Long, like, okay, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not about her, really.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
when you
she,
look at all the quote unquote beautiful women who've been cheated on, Halle
mm-hmm.
Berry, Beyonce, you know.
Listen, some rich dude told me at this club one day, he was like, show me the most beautiful woman in the world, and I'll show you somebody tired of having sex with her. God dang.
Saw that. I heard that in a movie or a show or something. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Real out in these streets for women. Jeez. I mean, I guess women cheat too. I don't know what you guys
Yes,
do.
yes, women
See,
cheat too.
okay, right, right,
Yes,
right.
they do.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe Neil Long was cheating too. Maybe they had something where it was cool.
And this just
You know,
happened to come out and be
it happened
public.
to come out.
That
Right, right,
happens too. Yes.
right. And I think whoever he was cheating with was like one of the top owners or something of the uh, Celtics organization's wives.
Oh wow.
And from my understanding is they didn't really get caught, but it must have ended. But she was saying he didn't. Like he kept pursuing or saying things to her. So she
Mm.
actually put in like a
Sexual
something in
harassment
like
or something.
I guess sexual harassment or some type of harassment at work, and
Oh
that's how it
wow.
came out. So I was wondering why she wasn't plastered all over the news as well,
Mhm.
right? Or
Mhm.
why she wasn't, they're talking about her suspension or whatever the case may be. I mean, it was consensual at one point.
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
the I guess it was no fraternization or whatever the policy was, it should have went to both parties.
Well,
But
yes,
I
yes. They
but
both should have
yeah,
a consequence.
right. But we haven't seen anything about her. But I think because of that, whatever she alleged to happen, now she's a victim, and
Mm.
we can't victim shame. We can't put her out there like home wrecker.
Mm-hmm.
You should be out there with him as a home wrecker, but you get protected.
Wow.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm.
Doesn't sound fair.
Nope, system's not fair. Men, pay attention. We're wrong all the time. I guess we cheated alone. We cheated by ourselves, men. We hold all the accountability since we did it alone.
Yeah. So talking about cheating, we do know that it has more to do with selfishness, self-centeredness, uh opportunity, like you said.
Right, right,
Some
right, right,
people,
right,
opportunists and will look for opportunities to cheat.
right,
Um
right, right.
these are all personality traits, right?
What? Look at that segue.
What?
Professional is a professional over here. So I guess we'll get to it later, but I wonder what trait would it fall under? Someone who's a cheater. Um, but we'll get to that later. We got to explain this
Yes,
first.
yes.
Um, so I guess this came from a book, The Four Tendencies, um, which the Four Tendencies, and it says which personality are. And Doc, you said it was based off what study? I didn't see that part.
It was based on the big five personality traits,
Okay, okay,
which was I was gonna say discovered, but that's not I guess that's not really a good word when you're talking about psychology, but I'll say that. Discovered by Myers Briggs, and they came up with the big five personality traits. And most people who've had, a psychology course, maybe even social work course, we're taught these big five traits. So it's
right,
openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Those are the four big five traits that they say people fall into. But it's personality is really a spectrum,
right.
because you can have some of one, a little,
Mm-hmm,
some of
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
another one, and so it's not usually like a hard line with
Right,
personality.
right,
So,
right, right.
but this
Okay.
study that they did to come up with these four, um, did they call them types of personality or types of traits there?
Tendencies, personalities,
Okay.
personalities.
Okay. So these four tendencies came out of a study that they did using the big five as the marker.
Okay,
So they studied 1.5 million people. They looked at their answers to questions about the big five.
okay,
And they came
okay.
up with these four traits or types of personality. So these four types are average, reserved, role models, or self-centered.
Self-centered. Okay.
All right. Um, I am just looking at this, just find out about this study when you sent it to me. So it was
Gotcha.
very
Okay.
interesting, very
Right,
interesting.
right, 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 right.
But
Now, I
go
have a
ahead. You want
question
to
to
give the
interject.
definitions of each?
Well, not yet. And I had a
Okay.
question. Well, so with the tendencies, they believe that they were something you bring into the world with you. She
They're
said
de- they're
that you,
developed. They are developed.
well, okay, she said no. She said these tendencies, well, this is what they were saying. So I was kind of on the fence about it.
Okay.
But she's like,
Okay.
listen, these are things that you're born with, these tendencies, right?
Okay.
And she said they're not through parenting, through culture, through religion. These are kind of what you have. Now, there is room for change. And she basically said this one person said that the change would only come about if there was a near death experience or a very severe illness or a severe drug problem, something that was really, really,
Hmm.
uh, substantial in your life that may make you want to go a different direction, which may kind of change who you are. But other than that, she said your personalities kind of are what they are. But I was under the impression, kind of what you were saying, like these things are they are kind of learned. They are through things you see, do, and then you build a response as you go. So I don't know.
Hmm. Okay. What do you think?
like I said, I do think that your personality comes about through what you see. It's information gathered. As you grow up, you see different things, and how you interpret it and how it comes out through what you learned. Um, that's what I see. That's what I feel. It's kind of that way. I don't think it's something that you're born a certain way. Like, you're not born an asshole. You learn to be an asshole.
So you believe the theory of blank slate. You're born a blank slate, and you just pick up on all these
for,
things.
for I mean, I think some stuff we are hardwired with, right? Some
Okay.
things, right? Some things I think we are, but not, because I think our chemical makeup does lead us to present a certain way. I think, our chemicals, our pheromones, whatever, those things do lead us to present a certain way. So I'm not saying we're totally blank. I think some things are, already in us that gear us a certain way. But I think, other things of how you respond to things, or what bothers you, or how you react, and those part of your personalities are learned.
Okay. Okay.
That's why, what do you think, Doc? You tell me, Doc.
No, I agree. I agree. There are some things we're hardwired with, but then there are also some things that develop
Right.
over time from experiences, the way you were raised, things you, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, things you've seen, things you've been exposed to.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Right. And
And I do think
I was
that personality is I don't think it's static. I don't think you have a personality, the same personality at 5 that you have at 35.
hmm, hmm.
Mhm.
You don't think there's any things that are kind of held throughout?
I
And
think there might be some, but I think as
right.
you mature and grow and you get different perspectives, your way of thinking changes. Just like if you
Right.
do therapy, the way
Right.
you
Right.
think changes, the way your emotion changes, the way you behave changes.
Right. Well, and what I would say is, I know, I was told when I was like 5 or 6, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up, and I said a clown. Right.
and
I'm,
and lo and
and I'm
behold,
still, and listen, I'm still a clown. Okay, that's been consistent throughout. That was just in me. That was hardwired.
I know a friend of mine who's gay told me that when they were in the first grade, the teacher asked them
Yeah.
what they wanted to be when they grew up, and they said they wanted to be. He said he wanted to be a girl.
Wow. He
Hmm.
knew.
He knew.
And
How
there
old
are
are
some
you in the
studies.
first grade? 6 years old.
Right. Well, they said, think that can present as early as 3. I've seen studies
Mm,
that where kids as early as 3 will present, um, either in showing who they're. Uh, I don't know how they do it, but whatever it is.
mm,
So, and I kind of believe that's due to your chemical makeup. I think your chemical makeup definitely leads you to feel certain ways. So
mm,
I can't say no. I can say that our chemicals have to be right every time. And if they're a little off, it may present a little differently, from
mhm.
whatever. And I think that chemicals make us be whatever. So I definitely believe it could be true. If he says it, I believe it. I mean, don't hurt me believe it or not believe it. So,
Mhm.
I think the teacher was looking for a different answer though, like a job instead of a woman. That wasn't quite the answer to the question.
Right.
So,
No, that wasn't what the teacher was looking for.
right? No, I think what we learned is he doesn't pay attention in class. That's what we did learn.
Yeah, the teacher told his parents and he got in trouble.
Right, which now he had to go back in that closet. He thought he was free for a day. See that? And that had to shape him. That had to shape his outlook on life.
Mhm.
And he had to hide
Mhm.
who he was, most likely, right?
Yeah,
So I guess
yes, yes.
I wonder how that affects your personality when you're
Mhm.
not really being the person you should be.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yes.
mm,
Yes.
so
That's
now
been a
she.
topic from a couple of my therapy sessions this week where
Oh, okay.
people
Right.
people were told by their significant other that they feel like they're not being themselves with them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. In one instance, the person broke up with the person because they felt like they weren't being themselves with the person, and they felt like the relationship wasn't good for them.
That's a good decision. I think that's a great decision. I mean, if you can't be who you are with someone, I mean, you're living a lie your whole life. That means you can't be truly happy. So
Mm-hmm.
at that point, you gotta get up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
wonder how long did it take them?
2 months.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Right in the
short
beginning.
period of time.
Right. Because you see the
Okay.
people be 3 years together and I haven't been myself. I don't know why I'm so upset because you're not yourself. You're lying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The,
Right.
the the
Very
difficult
interesting.
the problem with that one was that the person didn't ask them to be different. They were just being different based off of their own stuff.
Wow. Wow. But
Yeah.
they
So
were
now
trying to.
breaking up with the person, you're really punishing them because you can't manage your own stuff.
Well, that's good. Listen. Get this nonsense away from me, please. Get it all the way away from me. So if you can't control you, please get up away
Mm-hmm.
from me. Thank you. Thank you.
That's the correct perspective. Yes. For the
Yes,
person
thank you.
who was broken up with. Yes.
Right. This is a
Yes.
win-win for everybody. You
Yes.
can find somebody who you can, I don't know, make up who you want to be with, make up what however you want to be towards them, and I can find somebody who can be themselves. A win-win. Thank you for not
Yes.
wasting any more. I respect you. Only wasted 2 months of my time. It's not too much. It's
Mm-hmm.
not years down the road. So they were together 2 months and already went to therapy. That's also dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's also dope. More people
Mm-hmm.
need to do that. More
Yes.
people need to do that. To help work out some of them kinks, maybe, so people could hear each other. Because so he didn't even want to invest in the therapy, maybe to work on that, to try to fix that connection
No, because he
or
really doesn't
disconnection.
know what he wants. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know. He
Right.
doesn't.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
not the partner's fault. It's just him. He
No.
just doesn't.
Right.
He
Right.
needs
Right.
to
Right.
do
Right.
some individual therapy
Introspection. Hey,
and
who are
figure
you?
himself out.
Right.
And he
Right. Right.
shouldn't
Right.
be out there dating. For real, for real. That he shouldn't
I
be dating.
know. I know. But that's like, your car is kind of broke down, but you got to get to work, so you're going to drive it. Like, I need a date because I got some needs that need to be taken care of.
He
I'm a
he
damage.
needs to learn how to take care of his needs himself. That's what
Oh,
he needs to do.
I think it's so boring.
Stop
I'm
roping
gonna
in unsuspecting people.
listen. I'm gonna go damage somebody else. Somebody go get some of this damage.
No, keep it to
Wow.
yourself.
Right. Right. But it's good that whose idea was it to go to therapy? Do you know?
Her idea.
Oh, she drugged him
She's
along.
in therapy. Yes, her idea.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
fellas, definitely go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with it. It can help you get away from somebody you don't want to be with. Listen, it's a way out. It's a way out, guys. It's a way out. You don't have to say, you can be like, hey, this is not working out here. The doctor said we're not for each other. It's a way out, fellas.
Try to blame it on the therapist. Messed up.
Right. You don't want to be a bad guy. It's a therapist's
Mm-mm-mm.
fault. So now the lady who wrote the book about tendencies, right? She named the categories a little different.
Okay.
So she had one was an upholder.
Huh. Okay, so it's
Up,
not the average reserve of that was in the article about the study.
right. So
Okay.
that was another person kind of doing the same thing. So I guess
Okay.
it's kind of the same. The four traits. It's just average would be the upholders,
Okay.
questioners, obligers, and a rebel.
Hmm.
Okay. So basically, she said the upholders respond well to both inner and outer expectations,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Um, they're they're usually eager to understand and comply with things, right? So they're good with tasks for others and are good at completing tasks for themselves.
Okay.
Okay. They make good coworkers and bosses because they're very well driven. They're task oriented. They're really stickler for what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and getting it done. Right. Not a lot of wasting time. They do, and actually, they feel good about helping others and themselves. Right.
This is the
they're
upholder.
the upholders. They
Okay.
sound like they're more rounded in their way of things. But
Okay.
with anything, there are some weaknesses because um, it's said that they struggle with plans that change. They're not good with change, right? They're not good with spontaneity. They're not doing something out of the off book. They can become fragile. Also, they can be impatient, right? When they're trying to, I guess, either maybe you didn't get something as fast as you should have gotten it. Because if you're not getting it, then the job is not getting done. They feel an issue that whatever the task is not being fulfilled. So that time wasted in teaching you and you not getting it could make them impatient and become a problem. So that was the upholder.
Okay.
Yes, and it's very interesting. I guess they're the type of person that you want to be with if you are not so task oriented. You need somebody to help you stay on task. You need someone to, if something started, it'll be finished. Like you can count on this person.
Okay.
You can definitely count on this person. Then they moved to the questioner, which is kind of self-explanatory. These people, they question everything, right? And the issue with them but when they question everything, you have to actually, for them to do something, you really have to explain it and they have to believe it. The point is they have to believe in whatever you're saying, right? They once they decide to do something, they act, they do it, not a problem. But it's just a problem getting them there, right? They're not someone who, again, spontaneity, something. Hey, let's just go do this real fast. Well, why? Well, when? How are we gonna get there? Which could become a problem because you got all these questions about everything. I don't want to hear all these questions. I just said, let's go to the store. What are you going to the store for? Why are you going this late? Who's gonna be there? I don't know. It's 7-Eleven. Whoever gonna be there, So that questioners are cool because they're going to ask the questions they need to get things done. But it could be overwhelming because they could almost become paralyzed if they don't get the answers they need. They can't move until they get the answers they need.
Oh, that would be frustrating.
And that's why they say questioners are good, but they could be overwhelming because they need every detail of something before they can believe it, before they can move on. And if you think about that, if someone's questioning everything you do to the point where you may not have the answers, and then they don't want to move or do anything, then it becomes a problem.
Right. Because nothing gets done.
Nothing gets done unless they wanted to. Unless you really can give them a good reason to get it done, it ain't getting done.
So because I said so won't work.
Oh, absolutely not. That's like the nemesis of questioners. That's the nemesis because I said so. No. So we move to the obligers.
Okay.
Now they respond great to outer expectations. So whatever's asked of them, they're pretty good at doing, but they lack at inner expectations. So they need help being motivated to do things. They need accountability to do things. They can do things for you all day, every day. For themselves, not so much. So it's almost like they don't take care of themselves, but will take care of others, right? Put others before them, and then they do themselves. You understand?
Yes.
But the good thing about them is they're reliable, they're helpful, keep appointments, they follow through. For you, for themselves, they don't do any of those things. They're not doing any of those things for the most part. They said they could have some issues saying no to others, right?
Mm.
They could have 19 things to do. Somebody give them 20, and guess what? They're gonna try to do 20, right? So now you're
Sound like they would be
overextending
very
yourself.
low on assertiveness.
Oh, absolutely not. None of
Mm.
that. We can't. We couldn't say no if we wanted to.
Mm.
But like I said, a hard time motivating themselves. They would almost need like somebody to coach them to accomplish anything they need to do. You'd have to hold their hand. Come on, look, this is for you. And I think it's because maybe they're worried about doing something for somebody else. They put their own needs such on a back burner that everybody else is more important.
Right.
And I would wonder, like you said, they're where. So it's like, are these people just getting walked over, kind of, sort of? They could,
Probably,
right? You
unless
potentially.
yes, potentially, unless they come across a person who is pretty much the same or who wants to push them to take care of themselves.
Right. Which is really, really, like I said, the big thing about them, they need accountability for themselves. You need accountability. And then the last one is the rebel, which is, rebel contests both inner and outer expectations. So whatever you expect of them, even themselves, they may, like, hey, I ain't doing that. They do things their own way. They can't really be bossed around, right?
Okay.
They have no trouble refusing obligations. Hey, I ain't doing that. Like I said, it ain't about nothing. And they'll do it with no issue. They won't feel no way. They won't feel upset, sad, mad, whatever. I ain't doing it. They definitely only they really only comply to things that they don't want to do if there's a severe consequence with it. So
Okay.
right, like hey, you don't do this, you'll lose your job. If that job and the bills are important, they may acquiesce at that point, right? Because or if it has to be something severe that makes them do something they don't want to do.
Okay.
They'll follow the rules if they have to. But if there's anything about where if they want to, or they have any options, now they said it's kind of cool with the rebel because you can trick a rebel. You could be like, I don't want you to do that. I don't think you should do that. And you might do it. And that may work until they catch on to your scheme. Then they won't do anything. But so if you know a person's a rebel, you can masterfully control the situation with a little reverse psychology. Just a little bit of reverse psychology here and there may get the rebel to think they're going against whatever it is, and they actually end up doing it. And I think these things are important when picking a partner and whatever you do, right? You want to kind of find out who you have so you can find out, because if someone's going to be a certain way, that's who they are. We got to believe who they are, right? And then you got to figure out. So if they're not doing something, they may never do it. If you want someone to do a certain thing and it's not in them, they may never do it. Or like I said, they may do it for a couple of days because you asked, but then they'll go back to who they are. So sometimes we got to start allowing people to be who they are. And if you're going to accept them, accept whatever personality they are, and see if you can live in those guidelines, right? So if a person's a rebel, everything's going to be opposite of what you want. You know what I mean? We're going to block you, Neil. We're going to block you. We're going to block you, okay? I'm tired of this. I am tired. We're not having this anymore, okay?
You just knew it was her, huh?
Soon as the nonsense comes, I know who it is. I know who the nonsense is, okay? But yeah, so you got to find out who you're dealing with so that you can kind of, like I said, as a rebel, well, you need strategy to deal with someone who's always going to try to go against or not be told what to do. So how
Mm-hmm.
do you tell a rebel, like I said, to do something? Like that's when you maybe we need to go to the store today. I ain't going to the store. Okay, cool. I don't want to go to the store anyway. You got to find a way to get this person to acquiesce to what you need to do. Even like a questioner. How do you deal with a questioner? You found that you have a questioner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything you bring to them, you need it detailed.
Mm-hmm. You
Have
need
an
answers.
outline. Yeah, have
Yeah.
an outline, maybe a mini thesis on whatever it is.
You can storyboard it.
Right. Here's my
A
whiteboard of why I want to go.
PowerPoint.
This is why I want to go to the supermarket today. Okay. I've been up all night. This is why I'm going to the supermarket. But again, that prepares you so you're not upset, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times in relationships, what happens is people get upset for what people do on a regular basis.
Yes.
You get upset. This person doesn't want to do something, or they do want to do something. Whatever it is, you get upset, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not fair because the person
Yeah.
is showing you who they are. You want them to be authentic.
Because you let it go
So
the last 10 times.
you understand me?
That
Like, hello,
11th
this is who I
time you
am.
mad. Now you
Right now,
mad.
you
The
mad.
11th time.
You mad at them for being them, and you picked them. You didn't have to pick them. You
Uh-huh.
could pick somebody else. You understand? You
Mhm.
could pick somebody else. But again, I think that's why we have to go in looking for who this person is. And the
Mhm.
sooner we can find out who the person is, the better. If a person is good at doing things for you, also notice if they're doing things for themselves. Right?
Mhm.
We have to do that because they're not taking care of them. Then that could be a problem. They're at your house and their lights is off. That's weird. Like, why you pay your bills? You didn't pay your bills, but everything's okay. You make sure I got done my bills. That's weird. Okay. You need to know this going forward. Like this type of person is going to do what is asked of them and nothing for themselves. They have no gas in their car. I don't want to keep coming out because you done broke down. Like at a certain point, you're going to push. I see you at home. However you get there.
And I see that the obliger is appealing to a lot of women in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Tell
It's
me more.
appealing because they're doing everything for them. They're taking care of them. They,
Okay.
like you said,
Okay.
he might have a quarter tank of gas.
Right.
You got a full tank because he done
Right.
put
Right.
all his money in your car, and
Right.
he's paying your bills or whatever, picking you up from work, even though he had to leave work 2 hours early, and now
Right.
he got he on punishment at work, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So and
Wow.
it's appealing,
Hmm.
but then the complaints I hear later down the line is he doesn't have a backbone. I need a man to
Mm.
lead. I need
Right.
somebody that's going to take charge. But hey,
Right.
that's not what you signed up for,
Right.
or that's not
Right.
what you signed up with.
Right. Because
So I don't
you
know, why you're surprised now that he's making you or having you make all the decisions.
right.
But you tired of making all the decisions. I want him to do something. I want him to plan our dates. I want him to take charge of the
Mm.
household, take charge of the finances. And it's like, no, that's not what he's been doing.
Women just want too much. They ain't never happy. You know what? It's funny. It's two things I never saw: a unicorn and a happy woman.
You know what? That is not
Woo!
it's not
Listen, talk about it. That's two things I never see. Women always complaining about something.
But it's funny though. I've been working with a couple of men, more than a couple of men who are having this difficulty where their
Right.
women are telling them or showing them that they don't feel like they are heading their households properly.
Wow. Well, isn't it kind of so dating is kind of set up that way? You're supposed to do everything for the woman. You're supposed to
Mhm.
take her out, pick her up, pay for dates, make sure she's good. You're supposed to do all these things in the beginning, and that's your focus on making sure she's happy.
Mhm.
And then that it translates to the relationship. You kind of are doing the same thing and not taking care of everything. And it's like, well, you want that in the beginning, but then you want that to change and you want something different. That's very interesting. It almost seems like it's hard for it to change after we've been doing, like, this makes you happy. So I see you're, well, kind of happy because you're still probably complaining about everything, but this kind of makes you happy. And so I'm trying to do the things. I'm trying to do the things that continue to make you happy. And it seems like these things make you happy. And now you're like, well, I want you to do this, and now. And still do the other things that you did.
Yes. Yes.
So you have no time for yourself. It's scary.
No.
That's what we hear in our heads. It's scary.
I want you to lead, but I want you to listen to me too.
Right. You lead the way I tell you to lead.
That's right. That's right.
So it's very interesting. Very interesting. Wow, women just look, women. Whew, 52 fake out. You think you're doing right? You ain't never doing. Men understand we're very rarely doing anything right.
That's not true.
Very rarely.
That's not true.
Hey, any man that feel like he's doing something right, just leave a chat and say you feel like you're doing something right. She's complaining right now. She's watching the show. You know, you can cut the grass. It's 8 o'clock at night. The grass can't be cut. You know, we can't sit down and have a moment to ourselves, but it's okay. I get it.
You've been home for 2 hours. Even though you did the laundry and folded the clothes.
Right.
You could have folded the clothes while you was mowing the lawn. Like, come on.
You know, you got 2 hands for a reason.
That's right. Put that laundry basket on the mower. Come on.
Right. So a rebel in a relationship now, how would that work? I mean, you would have to deal with how do you deal with a rebel?
It sounds like they would just be so contradictory all the time. Like you would be trying to get stuff done and they would be fighting you on everything.
Right. It seems like that's a terrible personality trait to have.
But you know what? I think that even, with all of these, I think it's a continuum. I think that we all have I would say most people have a little bit of all of them, but then there are some people who have lots of one versus the other.
See, that would be the thing when the rebel is at 75%. It's like, bro, like this, everything's a fight. Like everything is always opposite, and that could be frustrating.
That could be extremely frustrating because if all I'm asking is that we go to the supermarket at 5 o'clock and you're going to tell me, no, we got to go at 7. Like, come on, why are we fighting about this?
Right.
Yeah.
And I wonder are there more of a rebel in women or men?
That would be an interesting
It would.
statistic to know from that study. Like, did they find more of any of these in men versus women?
Right. So she said, so they didn't break it down as far as men and women, but they said that obligers are about 41% of people. Questioners are about 24%.
Okay.
Upholders are about 19%, and then we have 17% of rebels.
Really? Those low numbers?
Right, right.
I mean, I can see the questioner being low because people probably curse them out for questioning all the time.
Right. Like I said, I ain't down to do
it. But yeah, wow. The obliger is the highest.
Right. They said the obligers are, and I don't know what to mean the highest because you said some different things.
41%.
Yeah, that's the biggest group were obligers, which, respond to expectations but struggle to meet their own. So they said most people fall in that category where, you do for others, but you kind of neglect yourself.
And I can see it for people who aren't like narcissists, who aren't, have issues with narcissism or other personality disordered kind of stuff. I can see
Mhm.
that because most of us want to, be
Right,
helpful
right,
and,
right,
do things for other people, especially if
right,
for your partner or your family members or if you got kids, you
right,
know.
right, right,
I
right,
could
right.
see that.
So
I
I,
could
I,
see
I got, I said I could kind of see that as well with the
that.
numbers. I just, um, and you know, and when you think of rebels, I know the lady said Donald Trump is like a rebel.
Mm.
Everything is opposite, always
But
fighting
we
something.
and we know he has personality. Can I say that he has personality disorder?
Yeah, absolutely. It's called immaturity.
No, I think he got diagnosable.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, personality disorder.
yeah. I think I would say definitely a personality disorder. And then delusions of grandeur. Money does allow you to believe things about yourself that are not true. You start believing your own hype. Because I'm buying my way into things, and you want to believe it's you, right?
Mhm,
And it's
mhm,
not you, because without this money, um, you would be doing none of these things. You're
mhm.
not really the most attractive person to begin with. So talk about
Now, what about the upholder?
upholders respond well to both inner and outer expectations.
Okay.
He's definitely diagnosable. Yes, 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 yes. I agree.
Yes. So the
Listen,
upholder sounds like the most stable
right.
of their
It,
list.
it, it, it definitely does. It seems like they're pretty good on both sides of the scale,
Mhm.
even though they're only 19% of the people. So
Mm.
the one I feel, and again, like I said, this is very fluid. Most people
Mhm.
are fluid in these type of things. Um, but to see that it's that low, I mean, only thing below that is you just don't agree with nothing. you know, it's very interesting that
Mhm.
people, that are kind of balanced are so low, percentage wise,
Mhm.
taking care of others, taking care of themselves. So, um,
What the funny thing about that is that what sounds like it would kind of equate to a person who's securely attached, and some of
okay,
these and the other ones not so much. And I'm just looking at the attachment
right,
styles versus what the personality seems like
right,
the
right,
upholder would be a more secure kind of person.
right. Now, what if the upholder got with a questioner? With that, I wonder how that would look because uh, they're good at doing, but
Mm.
then, or am I okay? Do I have to? Am I cool with explaining everything?
That would probably get on their nerves.
Hey, listen, mm-mm, and I don't mind doing, but I can't give you a laundry list of why we're gonna do it. That
Mhm.
that'd be very interesting. And again, she tried to say these, all these, well, I guess like I said, it depends how much of these really push through with your personality. How much? I mean,
Mhm.
it's good. I think it's good to have all of these in a nice dosage because we do need
Yes.
the upholders. We do need to be the obligers. We do need to be the questioners. We do need to be a rebel at times. All these
Mm.
things are needed at times, but we have to have balance. And the problem usually is people don't have balance.
Right.
And this is
Right.
where I think the what we see leads us to imbalance these things. If you
Mhm.
see you know somebody at home taking care of the other partner all the time and never taking care of themselves, you may adapt that. You may become
Mhm.
that way and think this is
Mhm.
normal, right?
Mhm.
So now you're
Mhm.
neglecting yourself, you're taking care of the people, which could lead you into that turns off your rebel, that turns off your questioning because you're just doing. So you're turning
Mhm.
some of these things down through a learned behavior, which kind of, you know, um, don't allow you to be a full person, I guess. I'll say.
Mhm. Yeah, and if and it leaves you open to be taken advantage of by people too.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
I'm thinking of the obliger. If you're, obliging, and you come across someone who, uh, not even a rebel, but someone who would take advantage of that,
Right.
then put yourself out there to be hurt.
Right. And not necessarily, and because the other person is just, not, the other person is using you, not purposely, but they're just using the fact that you do. And it's like, and it's not using, I would say that it becomes the culture of the relationship. If I've always asked and you always
Mm-hmm.
say yes, I always ask, you say yes. So I start knowing you want to say yes. So
Mm-hmm.
I might just stop asking, say, yo, get in the car, we're going to the moon.
Yeah, because you know that whatever you say is going to be a yes.
Right. Whatever you say is going to be a yes. Um,
But I do agree that some of how you're raised and what you've seen, like if you like you said, Daryl, if you come from a household where your role was to take care of everyone, even like if a parentified child
right.
would be someone put in a role of taking care of everyone else when they're supposed to be taken care of.
Right. So
They could.
so I got something about the obligers, right?
Okay, go ahead.
I have my team here working. I have a whole team back here that
All
working on
right, y'all, go ahead
this.
now.
So there's a thing called obliger of rebellion.
Okay.
Okay. And they say basically an obliger meets expectations until one day they burn out and snap.
I can see that.
And they refuse to meet expectations any longer.
Mm.
This can take on many forms, large and small, walking out of jobs, ending marriages and friendships without warning, or purposely being late to meetings or skipping it altogether. Obligers and people around them need to be careful that their dominant tendency to always do for others doesn't become all too burdensome
Mm-hmm.
and potentially trigger obliger rebellion.
Okay.
So I guess at a certain point, I mean that's when you're sick and tired of getting sick and tired. But it take a long time for people to get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
True.
You know what I mean? So this they're talking about 30 years after you've been obliging, you're gonna finally walk out.
Mm-hmm.
That's too late.
You're gonna
That's too
walk
late.
out because of, and it's probably something small. Like I
Right,
just
right,
asked you to put the top back on the toothpaste. I'm done.
right.
I'm done. This is like what? It's toothpaste. Like, come on, what's going on?
Right. Now in the streets, they're gonna talk about you left your husband over toothpaste. You left him over toothpaste, girl? But that's interesting. But again, so really knowing, I think it really goes to say no, kind of start to know the person you're with. And
Mhm.
like Maya Angelou said, once someone shows you who they are, believe them. Okay? You have to believe that whoever the person say they are, and start to treat them as the person they are, right? Not your expectations of them. A lot of
Mhm.
times we live in expectations and we want someone to be a certain way.
Mhm.
If they don't get there, I see it in them. And that's your problem because they may never meet your expectations because they are who they are,
I keep
right?
saying stop dating potential.
Right. Well, perceived potential,
Yes.
right? Because that may not be my potential. What you perceive it to be may not be it at all. I'm
Very
showing you what it
true.
is. I'm showing you what it is. I ain't got that potential. Thank you for giving it to me, but I ain't got it. This is what I got. This is it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if you think you're going to build a better man, I would say don't do that. Or you're going to build a better woman, I would say don't do that. Don't look to people to try
Mhm.
to build them to be what you want them to be. Let the person be who they are. If they're
Mhm.
weird, they're going to be weird. I
Right.
accept your weirdness, right?
Yes.
Just know they're going to be weird. Know they're going to do some
Mhm.
weird stuff at the table when your friends are there and making weird faces. Know it's going to happen. Don't get mad when it happens. I can't believe you made that face. Well, I always make this face. You got to just got to accept it. You know what I mean? That's who they are.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think relations would be a lot better if we did. Like you said, stop
Yeah.
dating perceived potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And stop thinking things will change once you're married.
Oh, yes, that's a big one. Girl, once we get
What-
married, it's gonna be
so
so different.
when you get married, that marriage certificate or that license that you're signing, you are saying that you accept this person for who they are right here, right now.
Right,
That's
right,
it.
right,
We're not talking about who you want them to be or who you think they're going to be in 5, 10 years. No,
right,
you've
right, right,
signed
right.
on for that because when you get married, you're saying that you know this person. You love this person just the way that they are. So
Mm-hmm.
stop.
Ain't no buyer's remorse.
That's right.
It's yours.
That's right.
But
It's
that's rare.
yours
'Cause I
with
hear a
all the
lot of times.
holes, with all the holes, all the all the scratches. Just like when you drove that car off the lot.
Right, right. As soon as you get up, that's yours.
That's
And it's very
yours.
interesting because people do say, I hate when people say, hey, well, when we get married, it'll be different. No, it won't. Why would it be? Are you a different person? Are you holding back a whole personality right now? That's weird in itself. If you got a whole other personality, a marriage personality. How you know? Fellas, don't believe that lie. It ain't gonna change if you get married. Please don't believe that. It is what it is going into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Same for women.
Right. I can't speak for women. I don't know what women do.
Same for
Hey,
women.
if we can do it.
Go ahead, respond, Daryl. No, you look like you got something to say.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, okay. Build a bear, build a man. I'm not even talking to you right now because you're on punishment. We know it is. That's why you're on punishment. Hey, hey, women, continue to listen to people like Ruth and get your feelings hurt. Okay. I agree with women right now. You can build a bear. You can build absolutely right. Just let you know it's gonna come with a lot of heartache and pain. Can't change people. You know, we can't change people.
No, people have to change themselves.
Right. I think we can help bring the best out of people, but I don't think we can change them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Hey, and don't believe that line.
uh-oh.
You make me want to be a better man.
What are you talking about? That is a good line. That's a
That
good
is
line, everybody. Because we want to be
no,
better.
no.
And if you give me some, I'm gonna be such a better man. I promise. I promise. Believe me, I promise. If I get some, I'll be better.
Mm-mm. Don't let them put that obligation on you, ladies.
Hey, listen, we're here to obligate you.
You want to be a better man, you be a better man before you come to me. How about that?
Okay. I get it.
So you gonna stop robbing banks and selling drugs because you with me?
Yes. Yes. Kinda. I
Yeah,
just want to let you
right.
know. I just want to
Right.
let you know.
That's right. You become better at hiding stuff, right?
But see, but listen, it's weird because men say that because it works.
Yes, it
Right?
works. And
These
that's what
things
I'm saying.
work.
Women,
That's
stop
why
falling for it. Stop falling
not
for it,
our
ladies.
fault. Codependency. We can't do it without y'all. we need y'all to do it. We're gonna tell a lie, you're gonna believe it. That's how things work.
Lying?
Yeah, lying works. We learned this last week. We gotta lie to keep our relationships. We learned it.
Yes, watch that replay, y'all. So
Yes.
Daryl let you know about how men keep their relationships going by lying.
What, no. How women make us lie to keep our relationships going. It's not our fault. We don't come into it wanting to lie, but we know that women are fragile.
What?
Their self-esteem is low. So I can't tell you I think someone else is beautiful because you can't take it. I can't tell you that anything about another woman because you can't take it. I can't tell you look fat in that dress. There's nothing we can say to you that is truthful in those realms that you'll believe, so we have to lie to you. And we don't want to. We would love to tell you the truth, but we can't. Like we want to be. So we have again. So we become once again. Men have to be obligers. Excuse me. We oblige you. We don't take care of ourselves because we're too busy taking care of you
guys. Okay.
Okay. When men we get the raw end of the stick. We are really out here trying to do our best to make women feel good. We spend all our money in gas, all our resources, and that's just to get a date. That's all we not. I'm not. We ain't promised anything, and we done did all this already. Oh boy, our lights are off. We go home we pay for this big dinner for you guys to go home to a house with no lights because we had to pay for dinner. That's what is going on here. I'll tell you.
How would you like things to change?
You
want my lights out?
Yes. Absolutely. I want both our lights to be out. Then we're on an even playing ground. I'm like, damn, girl, we both in the dark. I love you. I think that the expectations of one person doing everything, it should kind of change a little bit. I think it should. I definitely think.
Got to pay to play.
That's the problem. That means I might as well get a stink walker outside then. If I'm paying to play, right? It's like, you like, what we paying for? What we paying for? First of all, you guys want our last name, to be honest. We're going to talk about it. We don't want y'all last name. You trying to be with us. Okay? So you guys should be auditioning for our business, to be part of our business.
Then why is it the other way around?
Because women, tricknology, they got us.
Tricknology.
Tricknology, they done tricked us into thinking. We've been brainwashed, fellas. We are the prize. It's less of us than them. Just that alone with supply and demand, we should be in demand. We shouldn't have to do all the things we have to do. It's more women. I mean, we are commodities at this point, but no, we don't know that sometimes. And that's why we got to jump through these hoops. They should be jumping through hoops.
Wow. I'm surprised you get dates at all.
I'm just telling you what some people said, okay? Some
I
people
think they like you because they like the rebel. They like all that contention and controversy. I'm gonna do what I want to do kind of stuff.
Oh no. Listen, I'm just saying. I think things are a little out of whack. But okay, I'm just saying. Me, I am definitely not. I am what am I? I'm a upholder. So there was a test.
Who would try to say you're balanced?
No, listen, right? I think it was upholder. It was a test. They had a test on there that you could do.
Okay.
I'll send it. Maybe we could put it in the room. But it would then it tells you where you are as far as these four. And I'm pretty sure I was an upholder.
Okay.
I'm mistaken. Because I'm pretty balanced. I mean, this is
how many of those questions did you lie on?
I answered to the best of my ability. So, well-balanced man here. Just put it out there. Well-balanced. I respond well to both inner and external expectations.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, we'll send it and put it in the group. Oh, boy. See, this is a trope here. This is that men are liars. We are liars. I agree. You're right. I have to lie to keep you guys. But for as women, we have to lie to. Can't tell you the truth. It's a shame.
All right, Jody. Here we go.
I'm just saying. I don't want to lie. I want to be able to tell you the truth, but you don't allow it to. And then you hold the cookie ransom. So what can I do? I got to lie to keep the cookie coming. You know.
How about telling the truth and just be okay if you don't get the cookie?
Oh man, but it's not even that. It's the crying and I can't believe you did it. Like who want to do that forever? Like it just don't stop right there because that becomes women are very emotional sometimes. Not all, but some women are very emotional. So now it's not a logical conversation anymore. It's about emotion, and this can go on forever. Right? Every time I can't believe you said that the dress was. It's not. It's great. I lied. So now I gotta lie because you don't want to deal with that. You know, if you can have a conversation about whatever it was and it just be that, and the next day you don't bring it up, well, the next day you don't bring it up and you don't keep bringing it up, then I can have a conversation. But I don't want to talk about anything and it be on repeat, whatever it is. You know, I don't want to. I should be able to say that. Right. I should be able to say, as an attractive woman at work, and I have you ask me every day about the attractive woman at work. You know, or you could tell, because you could say, oh, it's a nice new handsome guy that started working. Cool. You just describe. I wouldn't trip over it. But a lot of women, and some men may too, but we shouldn't that's why we can't be honest, because you should be able to say something using descriptive words and not be held accountable for something like you want to jump this person's bones or something like that. Like that's a problem. So that's why I think we don't tell things. You know, we hold things. What kind of personality trait is that when you can't tell the truth? I didn't see that one in here. But it's a new category, liar. Like trying to keep your relationship stable by not telling the truth.
But I can't stand that talking about the same thing over and over again. You still bring it up after we done had a discussion about it. That irks my soul.
Right. It does. Like you really thought you came to a resolution, and we're talking about it again. And that to me becomes problematic because then I do get upset when you ask me the same thing over and over, and then I become short, and I'm not responding to it really. You know, I'm not doing that. It's just because I don't want to be here. We already talked about it.
But that's when if you have a questioner, they come. That's coming out full force.
Right.
Coming out full force.
3 days later.
Happens.
Right, 3 days later. And another thing, I felt as though when this happened, did you do this? Like they keep thinking of more things, and I'm like, bro, we talked about it, and you try to answer as much as you can, but like you get tired of it, right? Because even if you're asking questions, the same questions a different way, it's like, well, what do you want, a different response? Like I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. So for me, a questioner is my nemesis. Because I don't like answering questions more than once. Like we talk about, if you ask me a question, I answer it. Hey, you hungry? No. Are you sure?
You want to try this? You want to go to the restaurant?
Right. I don't know what the no means something different to you than it means to me. Like you know that's a problem for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know me. I mean, no means no. And that would be something someone should learn. Like we continue to do that, it's gonna be a problem. Looks on my face and stuff like that to show. Now you ask any question, I'm like, well, you answer because you usually do anyway. What do you think? Yeah, so a questioner would not be too. That wouldn't work for me. You know, it wouldn't. Again, legitimate questions, cool, but the content questions, I can't do interrogations. I can't. Not at all. Upholders, obligers. I don't know. Even a rebel to some sort wouldn't bother me too much. I think I could deal with that. You know. But the questioner, out of the, I can't. It can't work. You know what? Thank you. I learned something when I go on a date. And I'm like, you ask a lot of questions.
You'll see that on the date.
Right. Because hey, you didn't pass your question limits for the day, so I'm gonna leave now. Never come back again.
That's one thing I'm talking to the younger. I shouldn't even say younger. But young people that I'm seeing about dating, because a lot of the young women are concerned about dating and are having difficulty in the dating world. And, talking to them about asking questions on that
Right.
first date,
Right.
really trying to learn about the person because there's so much you can gain just by listening to the person.
Right.
You can usually find out on that first date whether or not you should date them again.
Right. Right. I can't. Maybe we weren't paying attention, and we said it's fluid. We all have all of it. It's just how they present would be the question. If one presents more than the other, that could be a problem. Okay, Doc. Back
silly, 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 silly.
But so what? These young girls, what problems are they having in dating? Like, what are the what are the
not coming, not coming across men who are serious. That's the one complaint I'm getting.
Okay.
Like people just want to hook up.
Whose fault is that? I'll wait.
I mean, yeah.
Whose fault is that? Listen, let me get in the next session. I'm gonna look. Keep your legs closed. Don't give them none until you're sure you want to be with them. There you go. If you give it to us, what you expect? You led with the coochie.
or not having sex with them, and then their interest goes away.
The man's interest?
Yes, the man's interest.
What? Again, what you expect? We think we're here.
Wait a minute, you can't have it both ways. No. You can't have it both ways.
You can. They need to be more. And again, if someone leaves before you want to, cool, let them go. But you need to be into more about the person before you do it, right? Mm-hmm. You need to really say, before I take it here, and I'm not using this as a chip or anything, but I'm saying if it ain't going nowhere, then I don't need to be intimate with this person. Mm-hmm. So you need to know you want to invest in this first before you do it. The problem is we do it when we're having fun before we really put anything into it, and then it never goes anywhere.
But what if it takes you a while to figure out? Like if it takes you a couple months to figure out whether or not you want to take it to the next level. How many young men are going to stick around for a couple months?
Probably not a lot, but understand that and know it's not your fault, right? No, it's not your fault. Because if more people would take time to get to know each other, then the breakup wouldn't happen as fast, or it wouldn't happen as fast and you gave as much. Mm-hmm. So again, it's okay not to do it. It's okay not, and even for men, we don't have to do it every time, but the culture basically says this is what happens. We meet, we have sex, and then we try to figure it out, but it's too late. Right. We already said it. Right. We already set a culture, right? So yeah, I mean, we really need to start investing more into making sure I really want something from this person. I know something about them, and if you're dating for how to provide or whatever the case may be, the things you're looking for, not just letting things happen and then think it's going to all come out in the wash. Obviously, if you've been doing that, it's not working. How about you change it up? Stop doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, how about that?
Right. And it's funny, for men do need to understand too, because we have such a high value for sex that it shouldn't be as valued as high as it is. And usually the goal is that, and that becomes a serious problem. It is a serious problem because we put that value, and that's what we're going after. And once we get it, we find out we don't like you anymore. Not your fault. It's us.
Yeah.
We're going to try this with the next one,
which is good for young women to know, so that they don't blame themselves.
Right. And that's the problem. I'm definitely, it's not their fault. Because again, most men are not raised to be men, right? We're raised to play football and things of that nature, but we're not raised to know how to take care of a woman or what to give to a woman, right? Even kind of, I was saying earlier, we think what we're supposed to do is pay for everything and take them out and date, and that's all to get. Stop expecting. Okay, right. So the problem is you're expecting the dick too when you go out. You know why you're going out, right? You're trying to try to be coy about how you can give it away. But that's the problem too. So we need to just invest more into getting to know a person before we do those type of things. It would help.
Yes.
It would help,
Yes.
you know.
Men
And
and women. Everybody.
right. That's it for men because we only. It's like I remember, especially younger. That was the only goal. You know, we were meeting the girls. That was our goal, and that's what's kind of passed down. That's really what men pass down to men for the most part. Not all men, but most men I knew were running the street. Right. Most of my uncles, I seen them doing their thing. So you see it in every TV show. You see men cheating and sneaking around. So it's like you're inundated with these views of men that are not correct, but you know, subconsciously that's there, and you start repeating these cycles. So men are no more, you know, we're just as damaged as anybody else, and our ideology is very flawed for a lot of us. So that's why sex is the goal. Sex is the championship. Then you get it. Now what? I won the championship here. I'm gonna take my show on the road. See if I can win on another. See if I can win the championship on another team. So, I don't want 17 championships this year. But that becomes the problem. So we really do need to try to, you know, desexualize dating as much as possible and try to make it more about really building and trying to get to know somebody.
Oh, you're gonna get a lot of pushback on that one from men.
Will. Absolutely. Well, from boys, because men kind of get it, but we're a lot of, again, grown adolescents. We haven't really had that transition to men in the romantic. We may be in business and other parts of our lives, we can be operating as men, but that emotional task or how we relate to women, we can be very immature. There's no, like I said, there's nothing really showing us how to do it sometimes. And if we had a better role models and things of that nature, that would help. But since we don't, you know, we continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Plus the mistake feels really good. Like, you ever made a good mistake? That's one of them.
A mess. Okay.
But yes, we definitely need to teach more our boys and girls growing up how they should be treated, what they should expect. Like I said, that wasn't anything that I really saw growing up. I didn't really see anything like that. And we pay as we get older because, you know, if we don't know anything, there's nothing to change your views. You're going to continue to do what you do. You know, and then men accept it, women accept it, and we just keep doing it. And we complain about it all the time. I can't believe I got to do this, that, and that, but we keep doing it.
Right.
And women keep complaining. I can't believe men did it, but you keep accepting it.
Right.
Somebody has to make the change. Like I said, if you're not, you know, if he gets mad because he ain't getting none, because he will, then let him go if he's going to go. That's not the one for you. No, your homegirl to do it though.
Ask Maury, right?
Yeah. Your homegirl's with it. Hey, women, if you're dating somebody, don't have a thirsty girlfriend around because she will step in and mess your whole plan up. If you ain't giving them none, she will.
Dang. Now you got everybody looking at their homegirl sideways.
Hey, you better, because he was looking at her sideways too. Sideways, up, down, back, front. Don't tell me that lie too. That's my friend. She would never. She would. You don't know anybody.
Okay, I hear you.
Everybody
so have we covered all the personalities from this particular study?
From this lady, yes. I forget her name. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. Terrible.
Okay. Yeah, that is terrible.
I'm terrible at tasks.
Brought up this topic. You should.
Yeah, I'm terrible at tasks. Following through with tasks. I'm terrible.
And you want to be an upholder.
Hey, listen. I don't want to be it. They put me in that category. I was highly surprised when they did it. Because I didn't really think I was going to be either. I feel like I'm either going to be a questioner or a rebel. That's for me. That's me personally. I'm going to question everything, and I'm not going to do it if I don't want to do it. I rarely want to do anything. So that's where I would feel I was. So I think this test was flawed, or maybe the questions, I don't know. Who knows?
Oh yeah, all of these things are works in progress as they, do more and more studies and figure out
Right.
how these things really work.
So I just got a message over here from a team. I got a whole team back there. The team, they was asking me how, if I'm a questioner, could a questioner get on my nerves? How can we both? How can we both ask questions? We both can ask questions about the question.
You never get anything done.
Yeah, never get nothing done. Listen, I'm asking questions so you can answer, not for me to answer. So that's where the problem comes in. So I don't know. It's very interesting.
It is.
And I think people could look into it more and kind of. It's another thing to say, look into yourself and try to figure out who you are.
Yes.
And what and what qualities you have and yada yada yada. And then when you meet people, start looking into them and see what qualities they possess or their personalities, and see if that's something that matches. And you want to do that early as possible. You're not 3 years in realizing I don't like this person because they are questioning or they don't finish tasks. They don't do what I ask. Well, that presents itself early if we're watching. In that honeymoon, definitely have your glasses on in that honeymoon period so you can see things. That's where we miss a lot of things in the honeymoon period. And we miss it, and then it's too late. Now you're a year or 2 years in, and you're not happy.
I agree with
that. And now you have a side joint.
Oh my God. It just always goes back to the side joint with you. Every show we end up on the side joint.
had to get her in there. They listen, they do a good purpose.
What personality type is the side joint? Obviously an obliger.
Right.
Side joint is an obliger.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely an
They
obliger.
gonna do whatever, whenever, however, to keep you coming. Keep you coming back.
Whoa. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
I heard as soon as it left my mouth.
As soon as it left your mouth, they gonna keep the side joint, keep you coming. Hey, that's gonna be in the show when we repeat it. Y'all gonna see that clip. Oh man. But yeah, just get to know yourself and your partners, and I think that'll help you to even weed some people out, right? And you say this person, they may be right. They may be handsome and things, but our personalities don't mesh. It's been nice, no hard feelings, but I don't think our personalities are going to mesh, right? And you can walk away early when you have no strings attached. You have no dog in the fight. You know what I mean? You can just say, it's cool. You can walk away with no feelings. That's the best way to do things.
Yes. And you're right. The more you know about yourself, the more questions you can ask the other person to give you a better idea about whether or not they mesh with you.
Right. Or like you said, paying attention, and even if they're asking a lot of questions. But I mean, in the beginning, I guess you're going to ask a lot of questions, but if it persists on, and it's like questions about everything, like why'd you wear that watch? Why'd you wear that shoes? Why you got earrings on? Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Because I'm going. You understand? I'm going. So yeah, and this will help the younger people to, hey, let's start learning ourselves and what we want, and then making sure that the people that we're interacting have those things. So we're not out there trying to date and find out they have these things,
Right.
And when we add, like I said, we add other things in there, sex and all that, and everything's moving fast. It definitely makes it more difficult to see the full picture. To see everything, and that's how you get in trouble. Now, like I said, now you guys did something like moved in together, and like, who's this person I live with? This person's a complete stranger. Or they're a rebel. They don't want to do anything. Or they don't follow any tasks. They're not paying any bills. They're not doing anything I ask. The house, they never take out the trash, and I'm doing everything. That's how you get into those situations, but not paying attention early.
So yes, All those things are important. Learning about personalities, learning about attachment styles. We're not saying that you need to take a course or anything, but just the basics. Just the basics so you can make educated decisions about who you're seeing.
And I would say, with everybody having a little computer in their hand all the time and access to all type of information, you can watch these videos all day and YouTube all day. Just think about something to better yourself. To watch a video about maybe attachment styles or personalities or things of that nature. It may take, like I was watching today, they had a couple clips where they were 5 minutes long. That's not too much, right? But it'll help you. It may help you learn yourself, and you can start building what you're looking for by learning what you want. So looking up stuff on YouTube and things of that nature, it could be very helpful to you. And like I said, you're scrolling on Facebook, Instagram, all these things all day long as it is. Take 5-10 minutes out, do something for yourself. A little in-home self-therapy.
Exactly. Okay. That was a nice some nice closing remarks.
It definitely was, but we got it. And we're gonna end the way we started. Ladies, never too cute to get cheated on. Thank you. Good night.
No, we're not clapping for that. We're not clapping for that. And I want to make one correction. If you're looking to look at the big five, it was Costa and McCrae. Myers-Briggs did the personality test, but Costa and McCrae, if you want to look them up to go over the big five personalities, do that.
Okay.
That could be your starting point. Yes.
Okay.
That could be your starting point. All right, guys. Did I end the show? No, I didn't.
We're still here. We're still here.
Oh,
that was for Ruth. That's for Ruth. Okay.
Oh gosh. All right, people. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. You can see this on the replay in the Facebook group Relationship Flow, YouTube Butterfly Love, and Dr. Carissa on Facebook. You'll be able to see all of these. If you have a topic you want us to cover, shoot me, Daryl, Mary.
Don't shoot me. Okay, just send me an email. Don't shoot me. Okay, I want to live. Just saying.
You didn't let me finish. I was gonna say, shoot us a message.
Oh, okay.
Relationship Flow group.
You live in Philly, so you might be inviting some problems.
Or if you're friends with us on Facebook or Instagram, just send us a DM or post it under one of our posts. All right, because we're always looking for topics.
Make sure the DMs are appropriate. I'm tired of these weird DMs I'm getting. Okay, appropriate DMs.
Oh, wow, ladies.
Okay. Keep the inappropriate ones coming. It's okay. Let it come.
All right, people. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night.